Hello there, amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to the next installment of my Doctor Who Crown Jewels series. Now, I have previously done Doctor Who Crown Jewels seasons 1 to 5, and I talked about what I think is the Crown Jewel from the season and a few honourable mentions. And of course, I'm going to talk about season 6. Now, season 6 was broadcast from the 10th of August 1968 all the way down to the 21st of June 1969, and of course it is Patrick Troughton's final season as the Second Doctor. Not his last appearance, because Patrick Troughton makes 3 more appearances in multi-Doctor stories in The Three Doctors in 1972/1973, the 5 Doctors in 1983, and of course the 2 Doctors in 1985. So this season, it is my favourite Patrick Troughton season because it is absolutely brilliant. I really love Patrick Troughton with Rita Hines and Wendy Perry, who also play Zoe and Jamie McCrimmon. This season, it also sees the return of the Cybermen and some new villains. The Daleks don't really make an appearance, but they do have a cameo in the final story of the Patrick Troughton era, aka The War Games Part 10, where they kind of had that cameo when the Doctor's talking to Time Lords about all the evils he's fought across the galaxy. And while the Time's done nothing but observe the evil in the galaxy. So this season contains quite a few good stories like The Mind Robber, which is an actually fantastic story, including my favourite story of the season, aka The Invasion, followed by The Seas of Death, and of course followed by The War Games, which are 3 of the 5 fantastic stories from this season. Well, this season kind of has a bit more stories, but these are the ones I do enjoy. So I'll talk about the honourable mentions now. So, for first honourable mention, I kind of want to talk about the one story I absolutely enjoy from this season, but not to be the crown jewel, and that goes to the War Games. Now, the War Games, it is Patrick Troughton's final story as the fantastic Second Doctor, and of course, it is a 10-part adventure. So, the Doctor ends up kind of getting involved in this kind of deal between another of the Doctor's race, aka a Time Lord known as the War Chief, and a fantastic race who has not ever appeared ever again because the Doctor, well, the Time Lords basically traps that entire world inside to cease to exist, really. The Warlord's home planet does cease to exist by the end of the story. But of course, this has the Doctor being caught in different time zones where the Warlords and the War Chief have gone around kidnapping humans from different points in time, with the Romans, World War II, the American Civil War, and the Scottish bit as well. I absolutely do love the fact how this story plays out over 10 episodes, where episodes 1 to basically 8 is where they get captured, they escape, get captured, they get escaped, get captured, and escape again. And then, of course, leading to the fact that the Doctor doesn't know what to do, how he's going to send all the humans back into their own time zones. And, of course, he has to he has to call the Time Lords to actually help him send everybody back to their own time stream. But he shouldn't really be doing this because the Time Lords will actually punish the Doctor for his crimes, which later on they do so by putting him on trial after the trial of the Warlords and the War Chief. And of course, this does lead to the Doctor's exile and a forced regeneration into the Third Doctor, played by Jon Pertwee. Then, of course, my second honourable mention has got to go to the most fantastic story of the season, another one, which goes to The Mind Robber. Yes, The Mind Robber, it is a fantastic story. It's a 5-part adventure where the Doctor kind of gets stuck in the land of these kind of games and puzzles because they got to play a game with the Master, not the Time Lord Master, but another entity known as the Master. And, of course, he turns people into clockwork droids and have to go hunting. The Doctor's got to try and solve mysteries, and of course the TARDIS does break up into pieces, and of course they all get separated. Jamie, aka the actor that plays Jamie Rita Hines, comes down with a case of chickenpox, so he was replaced. He was replaced very shortly for a while when they got a different actor to play Jamie because Rita Hines was unwell at the point. But this story is absolutely quite enjoyable and absolutely brilliant, so I do have to give it an honourable mention. Honourable mention number 3. Now, this one might come to a shock because this one's not really loved in the fandom, but to me, this one is absolutely brilliant because this was my introduction to Patrick Troughton's Doctor, and this was the very first time I actually watched one of his stories. And then I watched this with my dad back in the early 2000s, and it is The Croutons. Now, this story, some people, I don't know why it doesn't get the love like it definitely needs, because it is an absolutely fantastic story. And it was also the first story to introduce the HADs, the emergency hostile action, because when you see the Croutons making their way up to the TARDIS and they kind of think they destroyed it, but the Doctor's like, don't worry, it's just recalibrating, sorry. It's just recalibrating. And the TARDIS materializes on top of that cliff, which is absolutely brilliant. So I do love the Croutons. It is a 4-part story, not as bad as it is people make it out to be. And then, of course, for the 4th story I want to give an honourable mention to, goes to The Fantastic Seeds of Death. Now, this story, it is an incredible 6-part story. I absolutely love it. The Ice Warriors are at their best here. This is the best Ice Warrior story ever. I love the fact how they go to the moon and basically try to, invade the Earth by using the TMAT system and sending over deadly sea pods. And of course, the Doctor does have to try and stop them. And in the first couple of episodes, the Doctor does kind of get stuck in a space rocket while trying to reach the moon. TMAT system, because that was took over by the Ice Warriors. You have some iconic scenes. I mean, you actually have so many iconic scenes. Like when the Doctor is running around and you got an Ice Warrior chasing after him. He goes like, "Oh my word!" And he runs and goes, "Oh my word!" And he just literally have that fantastic iconic scene. I absolutely love it. So the crown jewel for this season, has got to go to the most iconic and best story to feature one of the Doctor's arch enemies, the Cybermen. And it is The Invasion for the crown jewel. The Invasion, it is brilliant, it's remarkable, it's just absolutely genuinely fantastic. And it follows on from the cliffhanger of the war game, of the Mind Robber, where basically the TARDIS is put back together. And of course, they land on Earth. And basically, the Cybermen don't really make an appearance till around about episode 4. But we do see the second appearance to the Cyber Planner. The Cyber Planner makes its very first debut in Doctor Who in the Will in Space, the final story to Doctor Who's 5th season. So we do have the return of the Cyber Planner. I love the way how the Cyber Planner is there talking to the human known as Thorn, who is basically a bit of an idiot. I love the activation music, like the activation sound where it knocks all the humans unconscious and out pops the Cybermen from the sewers, and they're walking around the entire streets of London. And of course, you do have some iconic stuff in this story as well. Like when you got the Cybermen shooting and they kill Thorn, and they got the Doctor, and the Doctor goes, and he's there running, and he goes, "Oh, ho, 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 ho." I absolutely love that scene. I mean, the music this story picks up as well. That kind of dramatic sort of sting of music, that do 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 like that. I absolutely love the actual soundtrack to this story as well. It's actually a general masterpiece. I just absolutely love it. Patrick Troughton, Fraser Hines, Wendy Parry are at the best in this story. The Cybermen, absolutely brilliant. I mean, I love the whole invasion design of the Cybermen, and this is Unit's very first battle with the Cybermen as well. I mean, this is the very first time Brigadier Alistair Gordon Elizabeth Stewart encounters them, Unit encounters them. It's just an absolutely iconic story. Now, one of the cyber headpieces that is left over from the end of this story, the invasion, does make an appearance into Modern Who, and of course we do see it again in, as we all know, Dark Water and Death in Heaven, where Kate Stewart throws the cyber head down at the newly versions of the Cybermen used in the Moffat era, which is kind of cool. I do love that callback. This story is absolutely brilliant and fantastic. I mean, the fact that Unit is basically helped by the Doctor to defeat the Cybermen, again, is just absolutely fantastic. I have listened to Hour of the Cybermen from Big Finish, and it's kind of like a sequel to this one, but it has the 6th Doctor working with Unit to try and stop the Cybermen again. So if you haven't really listened to Hour of the Cybermen, I do highly recommend it. But the crown jewel for season 6 has got to go to The Invasion. It is an incredible story. It is amazing. It's fantastic. And it is, of course, just brilliant. So what is the crown jewel for you? What is your favourite story from season 6? Let me know in the comments. Please do like, subscribe and share, and join me for more awesome Doctor Who content. Thank you for watching, and join me next time.